Welcome to the Comics Market Watch, where we look at the news happening behind the scenes in the industry that brings you comics. Brought to you by Comic Book Advocates, where the love of comics comes first. And make sure to renew your geek card over at Geek Insider. This show is anchored by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish monsters and more, the giver of free hugs and spanks, and he even has a club you can join called the Sinners Club. Now for the show. Hey everybody, it's a new week, a new time, a new way for us to get involved. This is the Comics Market Watch. We're going to bring you a lot of fascinating tales from the indie comics and the comic book communities and the industry itself today. I don't know why I'm tripping on my words so much this morning. It's still early. We've all had a long January. We're in the end of January. We're about to get into the new month of February, where we'll have a lot of exciting stuff, including the awards show showing up. So I'm ready to go. Let's get into this. Let's talk about the news. And remember that you guys can reach us by sending us an email to the Comics Newswire at yahoo.com, and you guys can have your news shared with the world. And I don't know why I can't find that logo that we normally have, but we actually have one that you'll see during the show today. Here's our Market Watch room, which you guys can now view and get all the information you see today via this portal, if you will, into all the news that you need to know. So we're going to get into it. We're going to go into our different days. We got some stuff to cover, but before we do that, we want to start the show by reminding everyone that you guys can be part of the experience. You can help us get the news out there. We need co-anchors. We need advocates who want to talk about different creators. We need reporters who want to go out there. We need anything that you guys can help us to keep the Comics Newswire full of the news that the fans of the comic book industry deserve to hear. So if you're interested in being a journalist within the comics community, send us an email, again, to the Comics Newswire at yahoo.com. Remember to spell comics, C-O-M-I-X. All right, so our big news is that the Enter the Continuum is coming on February 14th. That's right. Reapers was our first announced project. This is all going to be coming to you on Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's with the Love, we launch the Continuum. And the first announced story is Reapers. And now the Continuum itself will house different comic book creators' creations between 2 to 8 pages. Everyone's going to get a chance to be part of it. All we ask is that you bring creation our way, and that we have the ability to make sure that that creation is done right. So we're going to have some editorial control in it. We want to make sure that when we put out a book, it's got some quality assurance to it, because we don't want anyone coming back and thinking that we have done something to them in regards to putting out a story that was unedited or had problems. The rest is up to you, the fans, to decide what you like and what you don't like. And we want you to do that. And here's some of the art to the upcoming project. We also want to share with you, just so you know, at the beginning of the show, in the Comics News, the Comics Market Watch thread from the Comics Newswire, you guys can still get that free Panel 1 comic, and we have it actually listed in the newsroom for you guys right here at the bottom. There's our news wire logo for you guys. This is Curator Connections Panel 1. We've had such great feedback about this. I am super excited. 144 pages. People are digging what they're seeing inside. Get yourself a free copy today. Download it and make it part of your library, and you can enjoy all the stories that are going around today. Now, we do want to give some quick love to comics, and we're going to ask Keanu Reeves to do that for us.
Comics are awesome.
I really just hadn't played that in a while, and I wanted to play it, and I wanted an excuse. I'm a giant kid. You guys know that. I love comics. And here are all the things turning the heads in comics. Here's one thing. I'm going to be doing an interview show. That's right. Going forward, you guys will be able to watch an interview show. I am doing it just strictly interviews, so it doesn't interfere with the news show. So, you know how news programs have, like, you know, the daily news, and then they have 60 Minutes. This is my version of, I guess, my creative 60 Minutes. I call it Indie Views, where I'll sit down with different creators and we'll talk about all the things going on within the industry and what they have going on. So we're going to wind up starting that probably in February, although because next week will be February. The first show will be in February. Lisa, you're interested in, I'm taking it, being part of the call for help. Just tell us what actual part of that anchor reporter you're interested in. Send us an email, and thank you for your interest. So I'll be interviewing many different people. The new previews came out. These are all the books that you can pre-order in our catalog. Well, not our catalog, but the catalog for previews. Check it out. Call your local comic book shop and tell them the book that you want. Check out this amazing Duality of Van, and this is from our good friend Dwayne the Showtime Robinson, and this comes off the Comics Newswire. This is the Duality of Van animated. What do you think? And let's see if we can get the animation to play for you guys. Sometimes it won't play on our site. Nope, you're gonna have to go to Facebook for that, but still, that's awesome. We also have a Flickering Myth preview for you of Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn #4, and you can find that at flickeringmyth.com. This is another video from Jeff Ryder from the Comics Newswire as Major Holmes and Captain Watson are reaching their end. Here is the character teaser for Major Sheffield Holmes, the indie comics series Major Holmes and Captain Watson finale comes to Kickstarter February 16th. I don't know why I'm tripping on my tongue today. It's one of those days where I can't seem to get my tongue to play well with my everything else. So that's Jeff Ryder. We also have the comic book preview for Star Wars, Beware of Vader's Castle. This is from flickeringmyth.com as well. The Immortal Gatsby is coming to you from Brian L. Hawkins off the Comics Newswire. This is some concept art for Tom Buckingham by Richard Kemp for our Lovecraft New Goth take on the classic Immortal Gatsby. Chapter 1 coming soon. Subscribe to our mailing list to get a 7-page preview over at pendulumheart.com. And of course, we talked about the Reapers already this morning. Hybrids, The Killing Field. You have to watch this video. I don't even know. I hope I put it in here. If I didn't, I'll get it at some point, because I know I downloaded it. That video, by the way, was superb. I got to see it while Luke was making it, and he did an amazing job for it. So when we take our next bump, we'll wind up taking a break and we'll play that video because it's really good. So stay tuned for that. And this is off the Indie Comics Connector. Comic book preview for Future State Superman versus Imperious Lex. Oh no, what has happened in the future state? You can find out a little bit at flickeringmyth.com. Alex gives us his upcoming release. Oh, actually, Alex's upcoming release is coming out. We'll talk about that today. But he's actually showing some love to one of our friends here. This is Omni, which is now on Kickstarter. It helped these guys make their buddy's dream come true. We all succeed in the game, supporting each other. What a great message. Helping someone out, taking time out of his promotion schedule. We just had him on the Sunday Comics Brunch. An amazing creator Alex is, and so is our good friend, which, by the way, that is James Sims' work, and J.W. Sims, who's just in the hospital. We wish him the best of health. Please support his Kickstarter, just as a nice way. Even if you're sharing it, sharing is supporting a Kickstarter. Please take the time to look at it and share it today. Marvel reveals its Black History Month variant covers. This February is kicking off in 10 days, and Marvel has revealed its full slate of the Black History Month variant covers. So definitely check it out. Some great covers in there. Our good friend Sam is trying to catch the crazies over on Kickstarter. Pledge today. Check out this amazing work. He's a great creator. A lot of great energy. We had the opportunity to sit down. He was a great guest judge on Backer Paws just last Wednesday. And some more future state news. DC announces the next batch of second printings for DC Comics. That's right, second printings and new covers for more future state issues, including Justice League #1 and the Immortal Wonder Woman #1. How awesome is that? This is from CBR.com. We're seeing comics having the necessity to get second printings. We always want to hear that. That's always a good sign. That means you, the fans, are showing up. And here's get a closer look to the launch date. As getting closer to the launch date, be sure to sign up. All first day backers will get a special print. If you want to get that special print, make sure you're day one backer. Make sure you're part of that amazing Killing Field event that's starting in Hybrids just this year. Comic book preview, Future State, Dark Detective #2. From Flickering Myth, find out what happened to Bruce Wayne in the future. That's a bit of a preview over at flickeringmyth.com you can do, and that's just a double up. Our site does that every so often. Comic book preview, Joker Harley, Criminal Insanity #7. DC Comics releases the Criminal Insanity coming, this is #7, this Tuesday. That's actually today. And they have an official preview. So check out the preview. If you like what you see, jump on over to your local comic book shop. This is from the Disputed Territory, the Indie Comics Connector. We need your help. I'm just going to open this up. We are starting pre-sales on a cover A for episode 5 of Disputed Territory. We just got our hands on the final copy before the final proof copy before final production. Please share this with your networks. The only way to get this story out there is with the help of our networks. We need your help sharing and promoting. This is a beautiful book all the way through. The story is a part of a series, but can actually stand alone. So many hours of hard work. Please give us some love. And that's rated M for mature. And at the very bottom, we have an outlaw is not just a criminal, rather a criminal placed outside the protection of the law. He has no right to trial and can be killed or prosecuted by anyone. Oh my. This is cool. I like this. Marvel reveals its first look at new characters for Heroes Reborn. For those who don't know, Heroes Reborn changed Marvel in big ways back in the late 90s, early turn of the new century, the millennium. And now they're back to it, and they're putting characters together. You're going to see more throughout the show today. They even have a video. This one drew me in. Dr. Doom and Juggernaut together. Yeah, I'm interested. And then Catherine M. Anderson over at the Comics Newswire gives us this piece of news, which did not translate well when we transcribed it onto our site. So here we go. This is from the Indie Comics Connector. CNS Comics presents the Year of Indies. So they're doing a whole year here, and this is a character design they have for Tala Ashi, TOS, and the stars, and it gives her whole character descriptions that you guys can check out, and her clothing. So this is her character card. Definitely check it out. Really interesting stuff. And make sure to go over to CNS Comics, and I think it's like their page, and find out more about the characters they're bringing to life in 21. All right, so what else do we have for you this weekend as far as news went? We have another preview. A lot of previews this show. Comic book preview for Future State. Batman and Superman #1 from flickeringmyth.com. Catch up with what Superman and Batman are up to in the future. Another thing from, we'll find out right now as we have to open it up because it didn't translate well in the transfer. Oh, here we go. From Tom Sekarin, the Indie Comics Connector. He gives us all these different projects that are going on. He's been collecting them for the last couple weeks. So these are all, looks like, Indiegogo projects. And we don't see a lot of Indiegogo projects, so it's nice to actually get some of those on our show. Granted, none of them have been approved, or none of them have not approved, but actually agreed to the terms. That's the word that we're looking for. But all these great projects are on Kickstarter right now, so check them out today. And then we have another Flickering Myth preview from Future State, Aquaman #1. See what's going on under the sea, and I guess out of the sea, with its new DC comic official preview. Nicholas Muller gives us from the Indie Comics Connector Burlap and Demon Hunter Raven. It looks like it might be a crossover. Congrats to Jesse Barron fully funding his newest Burlap Kickstarter. There's still plenty of time to back it and help to get those stretch goals. And here you go, on Kickstarter now. New comic book series to explore U.S. immigration policy and border patrol. Again, this is from But Why the Podcast. But Why the Podcast? It's an interesting look. You guys get to have the opportunity to decide to back it or not. I'm not getting into the politics of it, but a comic book creator has every right to explore anything that they want. And this is an issue that I think some people, at being an actual son of an immigrant, and they came over after World War II, of course. I'm a little older, but anything that has to do with immigration, I want to see people's point of view on it. And this is interesting. I would like to see it. And this is from Image Comics, and I look forward to actually trying to read this book. I think sometimes the best thing about comics is that we get to see the world through someone else's eyes, and that's always amazing, being able to see that point of view that we don't always get. And that's why I love and appreciate comics. From Michael Dulce, we get, guys, I'm so excited to announce the return of my flagship character, the Sire, coming to Kickstarter Wednesday, featuring awesome covers by Jim Calafor, Mog Park, and Tony Donnell. It also marks the first time I'll be handling the writing and artwork myself. If you dig 90s style superhero comics set in a real world situation, this is the project for you. For now, head over to Kickstarter and follow the project if you can. It really means a lot to me. So definitely check it out. Look at that art, though. Some great art. Definitely something to look forward to. The Sire is back. Here we go. This is from Ed Prisky, who announces the new Red Rum and Outlaw splatterpunk masterpiece. And this is pretty interesting. It's definitely not your average stuff. It's definitely a little darker, and they're definitely trying to push the envelope. Ed is definitely, he did say something that kind of annoyed me a little bit, and I'm trying to get him on the show because I'd like to talk about. He said that most creators give cotton ball stuff. I don't know if I give cotton ball stuff, Ed. And if you're watching this, I hope you come on the show to talk about that. But I also like the courage and the energy. And he wants to push the limits of comics, and I like that. Again, I like the different points of view. And you could actually check out his Red Room presentation on YouTube right now by pressing play on this video. We got something from Simon Sim Potier, and this is from Comic Related Madness group on Facebook. Demonaz back, part of the Wolf Dragon universe. This is 21. Enough said. Morbius is delayed again. Oh man, this guy cannot get a break. This poor Jared Leto in comics, he's got man, he gets beat up by the comic book industry when it comes to film. It will now arrive in January 22. Oh my. He must not be happy about that. I can't see anyone being happy about their movie not getting delayed 1 year, but 2 years now. For those who don't know, it was actually supposed to have released in 2020. It's just been sitting there done now. This is just a panel from Mythica. This one was both drawn and colored by Matt Campbell. So Matt's going to be on our show, of course, in a few weeks for Backer Paw. Stay tuned. Oh my goodness, Godzilla vs. Kong. This is their new poster. Forget the poster. The video came out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And here's from our good friend Martha Schwartz, showing off her different characters. Let's see where this was. I'm going to open this up. Again, didn't support the exciting, support a great series with exciting action. This is on Kickstarter now. It's Seed Seekers, I think the Hidden City. We have it again on the show at some other point, so we'll find out by then, I'm sure. Comic book preview, Future State, Legion of Superheroes. This looked weird. I took a look at this, and I'm not sure yet how I feel about it. Definitely check it out. This is from flickeringnet.com. It definitely looks new and interesting. I'll give them that. And I like new and interesting. I just, I want to thumb through the book and see more about it. It could be definitely something very new and very cool. Lisa, who is just in our chat before, says, "Are you into amazing art and gripping story you can't put down? Then you better grab this amazing deal." And seriously, the price is right. Before it is too late. Less than 20 hours to go. They almost at their goal. Pledge your honor and join the battle in Elysian Fields Deluxe Edition now. And we'll see that again throughout the program. And if anything, we'll play the video for him right now. Just get him some love. we'll give you a bit of a preview of their videos. So we'll take a bit of a break. We'll be right back.
Sing, O goddess, the rage of Achilles that brought countless ills upon the Achaeans. Many a brave soul did it send hurrying down to Hades, and many a hero did it yield prey to dogs and vultures. Oh, hi there, you must be Kickstarter. I'm Michael Oden, creator and writer of Elysian Fields, and we've got something very special to offer you here today. This past spring, I launched a crowdfunding campaign on the Indiegogo platform for our Zero issue. The Zero issue story brought the mythic hero of the Trojan, Achilles.
And you can check that out right now on Kickstarter. It only has, let's see, I'll tell you the exact time, I think 48 minutes left. So if you have to leave the show and come back, by all means, feel free to. We'll be here when you get back. Share that out. Tell people who like the Greek mythology that this is something for them, who like battles, this is something for them. Check it out now. And while you're there, check out the crazy and check out this epic new dance craze. Hi, I'm the Crazy Man, and it's another reason to support the Kickstarter. Then check it out on YouTube today. And this is a comic book preview of Star Wars Adventures: The Rise of the Wookiees. I can't do a Wookiee thing. If I could, I would. FlickeringMyth.com brings that to us. It definitely is kind of cool, and it's coming from IDW Publishing, which is interesting because Marvel, I thought, was doing all the Star Wars. Turns out Star Wars is all over the place, which is kind of good, I think. It's good to be diverse and diversified at the same time. So Matt Campbell gives us a reminder that just on the 24th of February, we're going to see Mythica. This art looks amazing. This looks like a great book. Can't wait to see more about it. Super excited to announce that announced that issue 7 of Mythica will be launching on February 24th. In a dark world where it's World War I and the Fey folk are among us, a Scottish soldier, a sultry super spy, and a colorful cast of other characters fight for their lives against vampires and demons. This issue starts a new chapter and takes us to Scotland, but don't fear. We have previous issues included in many of the rewards. We also have multiple variant covers, including a holofoil edition. Click on the link to get notified the instant we launch so you don't miss out. And that we're going to be covering that. That looks amazing. And here we go. Here's your Future State Suicide Squad. Oh my. Ahead of its release on Wednesday, you can now get a sneak peek at Tuesday's Future. I don't understand why it says it releases Wednesday and it says Tuesday's Future State. Maybe it's a special thing. I don't know. We'll assume it might be out today. Call your local comic book store. Speaking of local comic book stores, we are trying to gather a directory for local comic book stores. So if you guys have a local comic book store that you know of, or is your local comic book store, please tell them to get all their information to us so we can cover them. But this is out today. Check it out. Thank you, Flickering Myth, for bringing us that story. And some more Catch the Crazies. They're all about it. Here are comic book movie trailers. Catch the Crazies. So definitely check that out on YouTube today and support the Kickstarter now through, I think they have like 2 weeks left. So you got some time. Here it is. Godzilla vs. Kong releases the first trailer. Watch it. Oh my. Everyone is like, there's even theories about, I'm so excited. It can't get here fast enough. Jax was jumping on the bed. I am telling you, this is going to be one of those things that's going to be epic. I can't wait for it. I really can't. I'm so happy it's going to be at home because Jax has some trouble going to the theaters. And we're going to talk about Jax at the end of the show today. I just wanted to give a quick note and a thank you to everyone. But we'll get to that at the end of the show. For now, let's talk about Into the Suck. Look at this cover. This cover is awesome. This is from Piper. And cover tease number 6, Into the Suck. Number 6 brings us the gorgeous work of Piper Rudachik. This is Piper's first time as a cover artist for Into the Suck, and she absolutely crushed it. Available January 28th. So that is starting in just 2 days. Oh, my. And, of course, that's the legacy book of Keith Thomas, who was taken from us too soon. And this is going to be his final work. It's a bittersweet moment, but we've lived up to the promise to keep him and his creation alive. Join us on January 28th when we say goodbye and hello to his work in a completed series, so it's going to be bittersweet. It's definitely going to be a hard day that day when it funds, knowing that will be it. But there's always trades, and I hope CB Zane takes up the mantle of writing or gets another writer to take over for it, because it's amazing work. The Batman animated series reportedly is getting a sequel for HBO Max. Can't wait for that. Matt Schofield says, still out here making my comics. Comics are a slow way to tell a story, but one of the most fun. And this is, of course, Steamroller Man. We learn a little more about Night Night and Sleep Tight on this week's page. And who will you, the fans, choose to win awards in the 2020 ICAs? And I know I read that backwards. Welcome to dyslexia. But definitely check it out. A bunch of awards. We're just under a month away from our first show now. It is getting close and exciting. We will be talking a lot about that in the future, including probably hijacking, as there isn't. This Thursday, as a programming note, we will have, and you'll see it in a few minutes, the expanded look at the virtual event that we now have. We've always been, Comic Book Advocates has always been a virtual Comic-Con, as well as an advocating platform. We recently used the Comics Newswire to take over the news, and we wanted to get back to and redo our original plan of the virtual Comic Con floor, and now we've done that, and we'll see it a little bit today. Talk about it more on Thursday. And if you want to hear our good friend JD, which this was already recorded when we added it to the actual wire, it hadn't been recorded yet, but he's on YouTube right now with this amazing night of conversation with some amazing guests. So definitely check it out. Right now, I'm going to play you a bump as we switch on to Monday's news from the comic book industry. And what we'll do is, I promised it, so here it is. Check out what Luke Stone did with this video.
A group of heroes supercharged with Nephilim DNA are the only thing standing in the way of an evil corporation at the center of a human trafficking ring and elite drug empire. The danger ramps up when a deadly trap is set for our protagonist. It's an epic clash of good versus evil when they meet on the killing field. Be sure to check out the action and get part 1 of the killing field during this 28-day event exclusively on Indiegogo.
All right, and here it is. Really quickly before we go to the Monday news, this is just a quick look at everything we've done. We've broken it up. We're already starting to fill the tables again. We ripped out a lot of the older tables that we had, some bad links, some creators who we knew weren't creating yet. And it was easier to kind of go back to zero in a lot of ways. I kept in the creators I know who are still out there hustling and bustling and making their creations known and being who they are. Geek Insider will be moved out of there. That's just actually something I got to fix, and we'll fix it by Thursday's shows. I'm looking into this and adding some people today. We also have Publisher Row, an imprint row, fan tables. We have a library that we're going to be talking about. We have panel rooms. We have the fandom corner. And we have educational materials, even a lobby. So tons of stuff for you guys to see. We'll talk about it on Thursday and break it down, including the comic book shop directory I promised you all. So look for that this Thursday as we look at a virtual con that runs all year long instead of actually hitting a show, because we don't know any shows going on this weekend. Things are still a little dicey with that, but we'll get there. Don't worry. So here is the news for Monday. These are all the things that turned the pages and heads in comics on Monday and still will now. Here it is. Marvel unveils a world without Avengers and Heroes Reborn comic. And there's a lot going on in there. And you're going to find out more over the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. And we got some more from Sire. Wow, almost 30 followers for the Kickstarter. And we don't go live till Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. And again, if you dig 90s superhero style, set in real world situations, you're going to dig the Sire. All right, so we're going to look forward to that. That's a cosplay cover for a comic book preview for Dynamite #4. Check it out right now on flickeringmyth.com. From the comic related madness, Virus, aka Jonathan Swall, is an arrogant hacker cracker who thinks he is the best there is and ever will be. His hubris has gotten him into trouble in the past, but his self-delusion has led him into thinking he is untouchable. Always looking for a huge score and being a proponent of saying information wants to be free, he has rung up a monstrous list of megacorps who have felt his wrath at some point. As they say, those who play with fire are destined to get burned. This is The Truth is a Virus on Neo Tokyo. The Truth is a Virus, coming soon from Atroco Press. And we're going to look forward to that. That looks kind of cool. The MCU hints that Wanda's a mutant. Ooh, my. So they're going to go back to the comic book origins. We'll have to see how that plays out. We'll keep that in our scope of paying attention to bring you more information on that as it happens. Without spoilers, we don't want to spoil anything for you fine fans. Here we go. Autumn's River. Do you have a copy of Autumn's River? Now is your chance. Digital copies for just $3 AUD. I don't know what AUD is. I think it might be Australian. Physical copies for $9 AUD, but check it out. Looks cool. It's on eBay right now. Here we go. Meet female comic book dealer who's breaking the bank and knows you don't have to read a comic to find it special. So it's an interesting article. I think you should take a look at it. Danielle Smith had a little time to fully grasp the byzant and sometimes exclusionary marketplace of comic book dealers. Brazen. And sometimes exclusionary marketplace. Look at that collection of comics she's got. So definitely check out the interview. I thought it was interesting. Brought to us by sci-fi.com. Steak. That's right. Grocery store clerk Sprouts at Sprouts Farmer Market, John P. Heschel says, when I say Scout is what it's all about. It's books like this that prove my point. Steak Comic is an amazing title by amazing writer David Byrne and what is slowly becoming one of my favorite artists, Francesca Fentia, both who have a passion bleed through into an amazing first issue. 3 years ago, Vampires announced this presence to the world in grand fashion. In one instant, Angel lost her two best friends and her existence forever. And her existence changed forever. Now, as a member of the Vampire Bounty Hunter Union, she has a card. And with the help of her ancient vampiric mentor, Jessime, she's out to track down the bloodthirsty monster who destroyed her life. She is Steak. The art is fantastic on this. Definitely check it out. Some great stuff, John. Thank you for bringing us that. Justice League director Zack Snyder on why he left the project. I had no energy to fight. It's a sad tale of a creator put up against people who didn't see the vision. Check it out. It's a great interview. Comicbookmovie.com brings us that. Catherine brings us another thing from indie comic book creators. Don't ask a gangster. Don't ask a gangster. I can't say the word right now, or even any questions. Rhetorical. There we go. For some reason, my mind stopped on it. Couldn't get the word out. The Box Comics knows why. Find out this summer with Red 5 Comics. Make comics, indie comics. And all right, we're going to look forward to that. Here's something from the new anthology Is More Than Comics. This is from Comic Book Schools. Flash fiction pieces with illustrations enhance the collection. George Dawkins' Black Knight is a story of a man born a slave who becomes a hero knight. Check it out. This is from KDS on Twitter. And that's also part of that free 144-page comic that you can find at comicbookschool.com. Here we go. From Instagram, we had Marv showing off a coming soon for Caspian Porter. This will be on Kickstarter soon, so stay tuned. We'll see if we wind up covering it. Marv is great at sharing off other creator stuff. This is what we're talking about. Get educated. Get an education. Read these books. Watch these videos. And check out these educational sites. We've added all this to help you guys continue your education within the comic book industry. So check it out. A lot of great stuff in here. We're going to continue to add to it. All part of our new virtual Comic-Con floor. So Catherine gives us from Cilio Spotto in the Comics Newswire a preview. And this is for Sword of Justice #2. And they've got some good news that they want to wish to tell you about how this is coming across, and it's getting there. They said the Swords of Justice 2 will go out in late January 2021, and they look forward to getting you your book as soon as possible. So that's pretty cool. So they're going to be having it go out, the PDFs, and they'll get the print copies to you as soon as possible. So stay tuned. Here we go. The 3 timelines of Batman Catwoman are opening up all sorts of possibility. And old Catwoman did what Batman couldn't. What could that be? Well, you're going to have to check out Polygons.com's story article about what happened between Joker and Catwoman. Clearly, that's what's going on here. I know what happened. It's kind of interesting. And here's from CBA in over at the Comics Newswire on the Piper art cover that we saw. And Marvel releases its Heroes Reborn trailer, which we also covered from a different site. But this one is from comicbook.com. We also got it from marvel.com, which sent it out. So that was pretty cool. We're going to take a quick bump. We'll be right back in just a minute. We are going to show you Omni Kickstarter. This will be on tomorrow's show. But time is running out as well. We have a lot of campaigns ending this week. So this is Omni's Kickstarter.
Hi, this is Omni. In a world without heroes, devoid of hope, a god amongst men rises from the shadows of war to unleash righteous justice on all who suppress the weak and weary. It's not easy fighting evil, especially when the world fears the very man they've called upon to protect it. In this pulse-pounding limited series, Floyd Miller, a beleaguered comic book enthusiast, must find fortitude to thwart the world's greatest foes after being bestowed abilities beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Hi, and this is JW, co-creator of Omni, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it. Floyd Miller, he's just a comic book geek like you and I, who has a favorite comic book character, Mega. When he comes in contact with this mysterious rock, somehow he gets the powers and the looks of Mega. And the book just asks, what would happen if Omni came to our world? How would people react? Would they think he's a god? Would they be afraid of him? And would the governments of the world try to use Omni as a weapon against each other?
For more details, check out the Kickstarter. Thank you for watching. All right, well, here it is. Our Comics Newswire for Tuesday. Make sure to email us your news so we can get you to be part of this. Good friend, Victor Dandridge, is, let me see if I missed any of the information on this. Let me put it in here. Victor Dandridge is with Latoya Denise Dodwell Berger, and it's an absolute honor to be a featured guest. Tune in so that we can all learn from one another. How awesome is that? That's Victor Dandridge, the 28th, which is Thursday, and this is going to be live at 6 p.m. Eastern. And there's giveaways, information, and more. So mark it on your calendar. Make sure that you're over there checking it out. And this will be at Lead. Hold on one second. Sorry, something was in the way on my screen. Oops. There we go. Lead the Way Learning Academy. So that's pretty awesome. Victor Dandridge, always the hardest working man in comics. Have a lot to talk about. Comic book preview for Vampirella. I know I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. It's one of those words I trip on. The Dark Powers #2. This continues this week with the release of issue #2, and you can see a preview over at flickeringmet.com. Some really bad news. Well, maybe not 100% comic book related. I know a lot of comic book fans, especially during New York Comic Con, and all the people in New York who are comic book creators used to go here, look around. It was a cool thing. It had costumes galore. It even had a fetish store right next door, believe it or not, that was added later on. Originally, it had some fetish gear inside the actual main store. This is heartbreaking. I love this store. The 40-year-old shop, I actually went to, I was telling someone, since I was 16. So if it's 40 years old, that means I spent half my life and half its life inside there. I hadn't been there in a couple of years since moving to Florida, just 2 years, because every time I went back to New York, I did. I didn't get to look at it last year. Just didn't have enough time in my schedule, but I did go the year before that. I'm so disappointed. to hear it's closing. I'm heartbroken. Honestly, I saw that news today, and I was on a call with someone, and I couldn't talk for a minute. Definitely had my heart broken. So that's New York City has just gotten a little less interesting. I'm just gonna move on. Batman Future State spoilers, and the Bat family's most dedicated hero, Batgirl Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler, proves that she is one of the most dedicated members of Gotham City's Bat family. Check out the preview to find out what's been going on with Steph and see what's happening in the future for Batgirl. And this is CB Zane's art for his upcoming Into the Suck Kickstarter, which is going to go live in just a little bit this week. And here we go. 7th cover teaser for Into the Suck. This is the main cover for this issue, and I'm so excited to welcome the incredible talent of Nii Rifuin to the Suck. Nii and I have been longtime buddies, but this is the first time we have ever collaborated on a cover. Nii took my scribbles and added her magic colors to create beauty. This cover is truly the accumulation of Keith Thomas and my collective work on the series. If you look closely in the lower left-hand corner, you will see Keith himself with his beloved bird, Oz, perched on his shoulder. This is available this week. And yeah, I mean, I still miss Keith. Keith was actually a huge supporter of this site. So I'm trying to see if we can get the full image for you so you can try to see it. We'll call it up here. There it is. That's Keith right there in the corner, blown up nice for you with the bird on his shoulder right there. And it's a great homage. Like I said, this is going to be a harder one to cover for the rest of the probably all of February, but I look forward to it and I'll be all over it. I promised him when he's sick and we knew it wasn't looking good that I would promote it and keep it going. CB Zane's done an amazing job of making it a successful series. Probably doesn't even need my help, but I will continue to help and make sure that as many eyes can see this as possible. Keith, we still miss you. And Future State Narrowverse hero reveals his shocking new form. As Future State takes over the DC Universe, one powerful Arrowverse hero seems to have gone through a shocking transformation in the next Batman. This is from CBR.com, and there's a pun there and a deliberate reason for the word shocking. Who could it be? Look at this art. Oh, my God. This is breathtaking. I can't tell if that's a touched-up photo or not, and if it is, who's that model? She's amazing. This is going to be from Zenoscope Entertainment's debut in February 17th, the cover by Nelly Jamez, GFT Quarterly Dark Watchers. And this is from Brian L. Hawkins. We've been talking about this. You're going to have to check it out. This is dope. Dope, I tell you. This is just amazing. I saw this art and I was like, what? That looks like a human. Can it just be art? I wonder if he had someone model for it. That's amazing. Can't wait for more. So Wolverine leads a very different Alpha Flight in Heroes Reborn, and Wolverine himself looks a little different. Did the Antimanian process not go well? Did someone interrupt in the middle of it? You're going to have to check out the new Alpha Flights in Heroes Reborn coming out soon. This is definitely some interesting stuff. It's a different world, and that looks like a Canadian Iron Man. We're going to have to see what's going on. This is definitely interesting. Also interesting, Teenage Mutant Turtles New Future is darker than the last Ronin, and I kind of looked at this preview, if you would. It's not really a preview, but it gives you some information, a little bit of spoilers, so be warned. CBR brings us this, CBR.com, and I was like, ooh, there's a lot here. The Turtles aren't doing well in the future. It's definitely some scary times. And look, here it is, all written out perfectly and right. I didn't even have to open it. It was when I shared it. I must have done something wrong. And speaking of the mashups, a Punisher Venom mashup appears to exist in Heroes Reborn. But hold on. It might not be what it seems. Check out the article from CBR.com, and you might find out something about who this Venom is. Spoilers ahead. Educational comic sites. Which do you use and why? And as a heads up, someone had said something a little rude about a misspelling, and instantly I thought I spelled educational wrong, because that's definitely a word I can't spell, probably to save my life without spell check. But they'd said that comics isn't spelt COMIX. If If you don't know that, and I'm not picking on you, look it up. There's a history behind that word and why that word's used, and it's part of the reason I go back and forth between comic and comics. And there's a history there, and it's a history you should know as a fan and a comic book reader because it's interesting. And you might feel that you're a little more comics than comic. I know that indie comics with the 2 I's is definitely more comic than comics. I'm just saying. There shouldn't be so many I's in indie. That's why we spell indie the correct way, Indee. Future State Catwoman has just teamed up with a classic Kevin Smith character in DC's Future State. DC's Dark Future. It is from Future State. Catwoman's daring Future State train heist has forced her to team up with one of the DC Universe's most dangerous serial killers. Who could that be? There are a lot of hints there. This is brought to us by CBR.com. I wanted to talk about this today. So this was something going around, an article about how women really aren't comic book fans. It is 21. Can we stop the bullshit about judging people based on their dangly bits? Can we just stop acting like we're, as humans, fundamentally different? Men and women all want to be loved for the most part. We all want to be treated well. We all have a sense of humor. TikTok proves that girls are just as weird as boys, if not more so sometimes. We all want attention. We all want to be loved. Can we stop this? Can we stop telling people that there were no real Star Wars fans who were females? Can we stop the idea that women are somehow less than men? It's just simply not true. I am so sick of this. It is 21. I am an uncle to a niece. I'm heartbroken when I see this bullshit about women can't do something. Yes, they can. They're now the vice president of the United States. We have a woman as the vice president of the United States. There's nothing a woman can't do that a man can do. Can we just agree on that and move the hell on? This is annoying stuff, and this is something an amazing fan here. This was TJ back in 1977, and she was one of the original cosplayers. And back then, there was no VCRs, as this goes on to say. There was no internet. You couldn't take a quick snapshot with your cell phone. That just did not exist. 1977, they didn't have home computers. She did this all by watching the movies and making a costume. That is fandom. That is something to be celebrated. Stop knocking women. Women didn't grow up on Star Wars, was said by some douche, and the way that men did. We have to stop pretending that dangly parts, things that people didn't control, they are born with, somehow makes them less of a fan and makes them less knowledgeable somehow. Please stop. CBR brings us the Batgirl, Cassandra Cain's future suit needs to be her official costume. Future State Batgirl debuts Cassandra Cain's new Batgirl costume in this alternate timeline, and it absolutely needs to become her official suit. Very, very cool. I didn't like the suit too much, to be honest with you, but I got it. I get it. It looked more like Damien's. I thought if Damien were to become Batman, it looked more like what he would have done, sort of, but that's just my opinion. CBR is really digging it, and it's a cool costume, don't get me wrong. I just would have liked it better for Damien. Mr. Anderson, that's me. I now have the Anderson's chain links to rival Meredith's her tree link I made on my own site, my own chain links. Yes. I know what you're thinking, and yes. Black Cat finally gets a symbiote costume with a major condition. Ooh, What's going on with Black Cat? Well, you're going to have to go to CBR to find out more. And if this Valentine's Day you want to make things more interesting, well, get your lover and playmate, the perfect guide to unleash your desires and explore them. It's the entire series, over 100 pages, with the BDSM survey included. It's Barbara Unleashed, Season 1. After a lifetime of hiding who she is, Barbara begins exploring her dark instincts. If 50 Shades of Grey was written by an adult who knew what they were talking about. Well, to get your copy at $24.99 plus tax, shipping included in the continental U.S., send me an email to barbaraunleashed@yahoo.com for purchase info. 10 comics you'll never read because they're out of print. That's right. There are many comics that have gone out of print and may be worth having a look at. Check them out now at cbr.com and find out what 10 comics are no longer around. While we haven't had a new issue in over a year, you can still get copies of an advocating special and a monster of a deal. your gateway to new creators and new worlds. This is the Advocators 2019 season. Get all 3 books, $19.99 table pricing plus tax, shipped to the continental U.S. If you want a copy, send me an email to advocatecomics@yahoo.com, or you can message me. Message me is fine. The Batman, the Soul of the Dragon, bringing a little Bruce Lee to Bruce Wayne's world. Director Sam Liu and writer Jeremy Abrams talk about the reinvention of Batman and Richard Dragon in the new DC animated movie, Batman's Soul. And that's coming out soon. This is brought to us by Den of Geeks. And remember, I have a new interview show. We talked about that a little earlier. If you want to be a guest for February, just send me a message, and I'll see what dates I have available for you. She-Hulk and Thor's Jane Foster are heading for an Avengers grudge match? What? The Phoenix Force is messing a lot of things up, including this friendship. The Phoenix Force has brought Marvel's heroes together for a tournament, setting the scene for a grudge match between She-Hulk and Jane Foster's Thor. Oh my, I wonder who wins. My money's on She-Hulk. Here we go. Lots of great Scout Comics official offerings. And Black Caravan has some books. Have something in previews? Feel free to tell us. Send us an email, comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, spell comics, C-O-M-I-X. And call your local comic book shop to order the books you want from previews today. Frank Cho comes back into comics with his Fight Girls comic book. This is brought to us over at comicwatch.com. Returns with Fight Girls from AWA Publishing. Welcome back, Frank Cho. And here's that gentleman who gives us all the different books that he sees. I think they're just Indiegogo books. So we're going to take a quick look and verify that fact. Yeah, these are all the Indiegogo projects that are currently running that Tommy Sakarin enjoys, and this is brought to us from over at the Indie Comics Connector. Check them out, see which books you want to back on the Indiegogo platform. Naboo makes her future state debut. New Call of Duty Warzone report has bad news for player. Oh, this was I don't even know. Oh, I don't know why it has that Call of Duty thing. This is got the wrong thing clearly, and we're gonna have to fix this. Let me see. Let me see if we can get the right one. Oh, they changed their terms. Nope, we're gonna have to fix that in post, and I'll get the right article on our site. But for now, let's show you the right article by here. We'll Google it, and you'll see who's actually meant to be there, and then we'll fix it after the show. From comicbook.com, here we go. Here we go. Oops, let's get rid of that video. She makes her, she's the new Immortal Wonder Woman, and this gives you a little information on it. Brought to us by comicbook.com, and we're going to make sure to fix that for you. It's an interesting article. It's definitely something I suggest to you all. I'm going to put it on Twitter right now. So if you subscribe to our Twitter channel, which is, you can look it up in the search bar, just the Comics News Wire, you guys will see that we have put up the correct article at this point. Oops. My bad, as Jax would say. Jax loves saying my bad. Whenever he screwed up, so cute. Naboo, I think I'm saying her name wrong. Nabua makes her future state debut. If anyone knows how to pronunciate that, I would appreciate the heads up. I've already got the fix. I've got the link in my hand. We'll fix it as soon as we're off air. Coming to Kickstarter, The Enchantress is just 5 days away on February 1st at 6 p.m. Check out The Enchantress. Right now, click the link and see about putting it into your notifications to be reminded. And Red Sonja comic book preview from Flickering Myth and Dynamite Entertainment is available on flickeringmyth.com. We have some new rewards from David Summy, and he's got, of course, the Naked Cannibal Campers. And we have the names Ford, Alan Ford, how an Italian comic book spy became a Yugoslavian hero. Definitely some interesting stuff. You should read the article. And it is definitely interesting. He has a cult following. So I always like to cover the international stuff to remind people that comics aren't just made in America. I know it sounds so foreign, but it's true. Comics have a bigger reach than just the American audience. So definitely check that out and see the world the industry of comic books as it really is, not just an American thing, but an international alliance of creators, if you will, creating different stories that have apparently very far-reaching effects. And definitely go check out. I'm trying to figure out how. I think it's the Cavalty journal that brought us that story. Definitely some interesting information for you guys to digest on your own. And we have officially fixed that bad Twitter link. And what happens sometimes with CBR is that they'll put two stories in one, and if I'm not careful, if I read it at the wrong point, it winds up giving me the story underneath because it links two stories together. So it is up for you guys on our site the right way. And sorry, not CBR, comicbook.com does that. CBR too, though, I sometimes can grab the wrong one. I do want to say Jax has received his official diagnosis of autism. That's the medical one. I am relieved to know he will get the care he needs now for life. I want to thank everyone who reached out, who talked to me, who gave me their support, who even gave some information on things I can do to help my son. For those who have been on the road with us and have always supported me and helped me out, Jax has sometimes had some moments on the road, but I think being on the road with me has definitely helped his progression. He's doing great right now. I'm so happy to say that. When the neurologist saw him, he saw all the work that he's put in and how good he's doing. I'm so happy that where he is right now and the fact that he'll get the help he needs. And I think that's our last story for today. So thank you very much for tuning in today and sitting with me through the Market Watch. That's it for today. Remember to go check out Michael Odin's book, which let me see, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a live update. It just had a little bit of time left. He is officially, as of right now, hold on, we have 13 minutes to go, and it's not over yet. Hold on, I'm trying to wait for the reload. Okay, 13 minutes to go. He only needs $396. Who can help out Michael Odin get to the end of the game? He's got 60 backers. Here, we'll leave the show playing his video. This is Elysian Fields on Kickstarter right now. Definitely check it out. And we will see you back here at 11 for backer pause tomorrow. Until then, this is Elysian Fields.
Sing, O goddess, the rage of Achilles that brought countless ills upon the Achaeans. Many a brave soul did it send hurrying down to Hades, and many a hero did it yield prey to dogs and vultures. Oh, hi there, you must be Kickstarter. I'm Michael Odin, creator and writer of Elysian Fields, and we've got something very special to offer you here today. This past spring, I launched a crowdfunding campaign on the Indiegogo platform for our Zero issue. The Zero issue story brought the mythic hero, the Trojan Achilles, to a journey that started in finding peace in the afterlife, only to be brought to an arena where he would fight alongside other heroes at the behest of the Greek lord of the underworld, Hades. With the success of the initial Indiegogo, we were asked by many why we hadn't done Kickstarter. Well, we are listening, and so we are offering Kickstarter a special way to experience not only the Zero issue, but Pyramid Gambit as well. The softbound collector's edition, with cover by Scott Rosamond, collects all 78 pages of story between the Zero issue and Pyramid Gambit, as well as an extensive art gallery ranging from character concepts to variant covers and pinups. The story of the Pyramid Gambit picks up right where the Zero issue left off, mid-clash between Achilles and Gilgamesh. However, Gilgamesh is only the first obstacle, as Achilles will have to learn to work with other heroes, Theseus, Slayer of the Minotaur, and Heracles, conqueror of the 12 Labors, as they face an unbeaten champion in Greek. Along with the collector's edition, we are offering the 3 main covers of the Pyramid Gambit, as well as some digital options. We hope to see you on the backer list
and thank you again for your interest in Elysian Fields.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you back here at 11 for Backer Pause. We'll see you then.